You know, I think I'm going to resolve to not let others' opinions get to me.
In this video, we're going to discuss how to not worry about what other people think of you, how to not worry about the opinions of others. This is a topic that many of us struggle with, and this struggle has become amplified in today's social media based society as we publish our lives online for all to see. Getting caught up in the opinions of others can cause us to live our lives inauthentically, to muffle our voice, and to become someone we are not. Stay tuned to learn how to escape this trap and how to confidently and unapologetically dial in to your true, authentic self. To lead off this discussion, let's first take a look at the concept of worrying. Worrying, whether it be about what somebody thinks of us or any other given topic, does not serve us. Worry leads to anxiety, guilt, and unnecessary suffering. Worry does not improve upon a situation and, in fact, often causes us to imagine the worst case scenario. Worrying stresses us, emotionally marginalizes us, and prevents us from bringing our best self forward. Stated in simple terms, worry makes us feel bad, which is our internal guidance system telling us not to engage in this type of behavior. Now, for many of us, that may be easier said than done, and in particular for those that have grown up with social media's presence. Personally, I have the advantage of having grown up during the 1980s, before the onset of social media, and I therefore was able to experience life when it was still a private pursuit, before we publicized our affairs online for all to see. As websites such as Facebook began to gain prominence, I, like many others, began sharing the particulars of my life online. I published personal photographs, details of my outings, my unsolicited commentary on various topics, and so on. As time passed, I began to observe that I would constantly check my Facebook posts to see how many people had liked my latest status update. I caught myself only posting my best pics, and in many cases, sort of staging photos just to have something to post online. More and more, I seemed to crave the feedback of others for reasons I honestly didn't even understand. In some instances, I caught myself offering an opinion that wasn't even in alignment with my truth, just to go along with the crowd and gain the approval of others. The more I participated online, the more I felt like I was slowly losing myself in this miasma of dependency and conformity. And so I stopped. I stepped away from Facebook and all other social media platforms, with the obvious exception of YouTube, which I use for the purpose of sharing wisdom I've gleaned and life lessons learned along my path. I found that my participation in social media too often caused me to worry about what other people thought and to adjust my behaviors in order to bring about the response I desired. I was worried about what people would say about my body, my clothes, my hair, my house, my car, my girlfriend, my opinions, the activities I participated in, and so on. It reached the point where I felt like I was living my life just to maintain an image which others held of me versus living my life authentically, living my life truthfully for myself.
You've got to be true to yourself.
I share my personal story here to illustrate how easy it can be to become trapped in the cycle of worrying about what other people think of us. For clarity, I'm not suggesting that we become cold and callous to the thoughts and feelings of others. Rather, what I'm seeking to impart is that, first and foremost, we have to be true to ourselves. In order to live our lives authentically, we have to be and act in the world in such a way that is congruent with our values, our morals, and who we truly are on the deepest of levels. So, how do we avoid worrying about what other people think of us? The first step is to recognize this self sabotaging behavior when it arises within ourselves. This recognition becomes possible by virtue of self observation. by observing ourselves in real time as we go throughout daily life. Once we realize that a potential people pleasing moment is surfacing, simply go within, take a deep breath, and let the feeling go. Allow the feeling of worry or anxiety to arise and pass through your system without fighting it or reacting to it. With practice, this simple yet profound method will gradually become second nature. And if you find yourself in a situation or a relationship that frequently creates this dynamic of worrying about the opinions of others, you may find an empowering freedom in simply walking away from it, just as I did with the entirety of social media. Allowing ourselves to become caught up in what others think about us is a prison of our own making. We can easily lose our sense of self in the act of trying to control others' perceptions of us.
You can't control how people see you.
This fool's errand is the illusory ego at work. And if you spent any time watching the videos on this channel, you now know that you are not your ego. True inner freedom comes about as a result of not being bound by what others think of us. And there is no greater freedom one can experience than living our lives in alignment with who we truly are.